Welcome to Darren Daily On Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. Here's your success mentor, Darren Hardy.
So here we are, about to kick off our new year. So it's back to work time. So then, what should you do to prepare and set yourself up for a great year? You already know this, actually. You even teach your kids this, but maybe you haven't applied it to yourself. Let me illustrate. So it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon late last summer. I had agreed to review an investor pitch deck of a friend of mine, Tim, who had the biggest presentation of his life that next Monday. So I met him at his house. He was deep into his mock pitch to me when there was a muffled kick at the door. Not expecting anyone, Tim went to the front door and slowly opened it, revealing a woman carrying a pile of boxes stacked to her eyebrows with no fewer than 10 shopping bags hanging from her forearms and one in her teeth as she tried to work the door handle. It was his wife, Angela. Behind her was their son, Colton, and daughter, Sophia, also weighted with goods in their arms. Before we could even exchange hellos, the kids barged through the front door and dumped their treasures on the living room floor. Dad, wait till you see what we got, Sophia said, gasping for breath. I'll admit it, I was a bit confused. It was August, not December. Yet these kids were as excited as if Santa himself had just dropped them off at the curb. Tim gave me a look and said, "Get comfortable. Looks like this pitch is going to take center stage." So he and his wife settled into the couch on either side of me, awaiting the big show. I asked, "What is this all about anyway?" Silly me. Angela replied, "It's back to school time. This is part of the prep work." Now, I must admit that although I've heard of this phenomenon, I myself have never experienced it. My dad, a single father, would drive 3 blocks out of his way just to be sure that the mall didn't appear in the windows of our car. And if our trousers did get to about mid-calf, then he would march down to Mervyn's. You guys remember Mervyn's? Like General Patton, with us nearly in a sprint behind him just to keep up. He would march right to the checkout counter, look at his watch, and announce, "You have 6 minutes to get what you need." And he emphasized need as to immediately eliminate any wants that we might have. Then he'd shout, state, but it certainly felt like a shout, "If it's not on this counter in 6 minutes, tough, go." And we would scurry around Mervyn's in an anxious, heart-palpitating panic. Just thinking back on it now makes me nervous. We'd run up to the cash register praying we didn't miss the deadline and pile our rations onto the counter. Then, of course, he'd eliminate half of them, and we'd be marching back to the front door. When we got outside, he'd take a deep breath, as if he had been holding it the entire time, look at his watch and snicker, 9 minutes, 36 seconds. So you can see why this back-to-school stuff was a new phenomenon for me. So back to the show. There they were, Tim's son and daughter, pulling every single item from the multitude of bags, creating a giant pile of mayhem. They held up each item one by one for their enthralled audience to view. Every t-shirt, sweatshirt, pair of jeans, and shoes with lights on the bottom elicited oohs and ahs from the rapt audience. And then there were backpacks, and there were lunch bags, and there were socks, and even underwear. Sophia squealed as she held up a Justin Bieber dual pocket folder, and Colton carefully checked to make sure that every inch of his new red plastic ruler was accounted for. The show went on for 20 minutes. I have never seen another human being so excited about a pack of number 2 pencils as Tim's kids were that day. "Well, kids," Tim said in a fatherly tone, "do you think you're ready?" "Yes," they both shouted. "This is going to be the best year," Sophia said as she clutched a Hello Kitty notepad to her chest. Tim explained to them, "Daddy and Uncle Darren," I'm not sure why I always get the uncle title, "have some work to do, and we will be excusing ourselves now." As we left the family room, I overheard Angela asking them what they wanted to make for their lunches the first week, and which friends they were excited to see, and what subjects they thought would be their favorites this year, and which teacher they hoped that they got, and what sports they were going to try out for, and what grades they were striving for this year. Every question was followed with excited answers. As we entered his home office and he closed the door, he apologized for the spectacle and the delay. "It's just something that they always do before the school year starts," he said. "It gets them fired up and ready. The back-to-school shopping process helps them start the new year feeling confident and excited about what's ahead." "I can see that," I said. Then I said, "Grab your keys, Tim." "Why?" he asked. "We're going back to Monday shopping. The pitch is fine, and delivered with a new shirt and tie, you'll knock their socks off." All your pitch needs is your energy and conviction. You bring a tenth of the excitement and confidence that I just saw in that family room to the boardroom on Monday, and you will own the room. You will elicit the same oohs and ahs your two youngsters got from us only moments ago, and you will look extra stylish doing it. His eyes lit up like an 8-year-old and replied excitedly, "I'll grab my keys." So, my friends, what is it going to take for you to be prepared to have a great year? What's going to launch you into your new school year or work year? Excited, confident, and ready.